Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another week, another edition, another episode of us getting right back here in the spotlight. What's going on? It's your guy, Jeff Will. We have an awesome night, an action-packed night. So you guys need to go ahead and tell somebody to like, share, add, comment, subscribe, do whatever you got to do. But make sure you're on live with us right now. We have some amazing artists that will be gracing the spotlight tonight, so you do not want to miss that. Make sure you go ahead and tag your cities, put your cities in the chat to let us know where you guys are listening from tonight, because it's going up in a major way. Listen, before I get going with the show, make sure you guys text gospel to 39970. That is 39970, so you can be on the A-list for all the updates concerning the news and concerning the releases of your favorite gospel artists. That is gospel to 39970. Make sure you text gospel to 39970. Let's get into our first interview. Let's do this.
Hello.
What's going on, doctor?
Wow, y'all got it going on. This spotlight is off the chain.
Listen, it's more off the chain because you taking it to another level.
Yeah. Well, I am so honored to be on. How y'all doing?
We are great.
Awesome.
Great. Now that you're on, we're just excited.
Oh my goodness. That young lady is amazing.
Woo.
Yes.
Woo, Lachey Knox.
Oh, that fire right there. Lord have mercy. We almost had to call the fire department.
She got it.
Yeah.
Well, Teresa, it's been a long time and we go way, way back.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to have you on tonight. Tell us a little bit about what you have going on now. If you want to, this is Black History Month. Let's go on and give some of these young bucks, these folks who think they've been in the business, now they think they know everything. Why don't we tell some of these youngsters out here some Black history about what the history that you have paved the way in order for us to get here on the internet and bringing gospel. So let's talk about your history on what you've done. I know you got some other stuff. Let's talk about what you've done.
Well, Kerry, I've been in the industry over 30 some years, and I've worked at Savoy Records. And I work with people like Reverend James Cleveland, Albertina Walker, Bishop Jeff Banks, LA Mass Choir, Mississippi Mass Choir, all of the legends, Frank Williams, so many people that have been the legends of gospel. And I was back in the day working in promotions and marketing, went to Benson, worked with Commissioned, and Thomas Whitfield. I executive produced his last project. I signed Bishop Hezekiah Walker to his label deal, and just so many things that God has blessed me to be able to do in this industry. So I'm really grateful and glad to see that it's evolving and people like you are doing it big and doing it in a whole nother way. So God is, he's still doing great things, and he's still using those of us who avail ourselves to him.
Well, we're on the internet now, but before the internet, you published a magazine called Gospel Today, and that was our information. So let's talk a little bit about that, and then we'll get into your book. But I think a lot of people should understand the history with gospel music. So just talk about how it evolved and how you now involved into what you're doing now.
Sure. I heard the young lady Lachey say that she was, a single mom, divorced, and, struggling and all that. I have been through that. And, I understand, we got to understand that when we go through storms, when we go through the struggles, there are people in our lives and we still have a purpose. God still has something for us to do. I was working 2 jobs, had 3 kids, and God really impressed upon my spirit to start a publication. This was back in the 80s. And I said, God, I don't have any money. And, it's something about when you don't have the resources that God really does step in if you really trust him. And so I started with a 4-page newsletter, $300. And people laughed at me. They said, child, listen, don't even quit that day job because, we don't like to read. And Kerry, you know how that goes. And so I just began where I could, and it started to evolve. And really, it's really that the Lord just blew on it. And over the course of 23 years, Gospel Today became the #1 publication in the Urban Christian Marketplace. Then I already started Gospel Heritage Praise and Worship Conference, and that kind of blew up. So the Lord really just has blessed me with so many of these things. So yes, it's been a journey and an honor to serve.
Well, we want to thank you because you've worked with some of the greatest in the business. You helped give them exposure. You just a wonderful individual, and I personally want to let you know that I enjoy knowing you and being in the industry with you and sharing the platforms with you. So right now you got this Arthur thing going on. Let's talk about that. It's something that has to happen because you've been dealing with literature your whole life. Let's talk about what you got going on now. Like, what have you done lately?
Yes. So a couple years ago, I started a publishing company because I was helping people write their books. A lot of people have books in their hearts, in their heads, and they don't know really how to get them out. So I began to start helping people by ghostwriting, being a publishing consultant and all this stuff. But, it was going pretty good. So I went away on a vacation, right? And I go away for a week and, I'm out of the country. I get back in the country and I'm not feeling well. I have this headache and my fever is like crazy. And I'm like, what in the world? So it just continues to get worse and worse. I go to emergency room and they say, ma'am, you have double pneumonia and a virus that we cannot identify.
Wow.
This is September of 2019. And so I'm like, what is this? And so I'm thinking the flu, it is going crazy. And my organs began shutting down. I was on heart monitor. I was on oxygen. I could not breathe. I got to the point where I could not walk or talk. And so the nurse came to me in the hospital room and she said, ma'am, I don't mean any harm, but do you have your end of life plans in place? And now that took me right on out. And I was like, wow. And so I called my daughter over to the bedside and I said, listen, just call people who can pray. And people began to pray around this country, around the clock. And at this point, I could not even participate. I couldn't talk. She would hold the phone up to my ear and just let me hear the prayers going forth. And the miracle is in 3 days, the Lord healed my body. And the doctors still did not know what this virus was. Of course, a few months later, everybody knew the virus was called COVID. Mm-hmm. And so I literally had it before almost anybody. So at the point that I was healed and I came home, and, it takes a while after that to get on your feet. So I started to, get myself back together. And the words of that nurse came to me, and I heard the words in my head, do you have your end of life plans in place? Wow. And, for those of us who have testimonies, who have, gone through the storm and the rain, and we've come out on the other side, we have to share our testimonies. And the way that God gave it to me to share was in a book. He said, write your testimony, because when you write, and this, writing is one of the most powerful forms of communication because it outlasts every other format, which is why we have the Bible today in a written format, even though we use it electronically and all of that. But writing is so important. And in our culture, especially, we just don't have enough stuff in writing. We don't chronicle our history, so people make up what we did or forget what we did. So yeah. I began to write my story and about not just what I did, but what God did through me. the people who I've been able to work with, the lives that I've been able to intersect with. And so the book that I've written is called Unstoppable, and it's brand new. I'm just releasing it right now. And it's something that is a testimony to really what God can do if all you do is say yes. So I'm just glad I'm here to tell the story. And it is an inspiration to people. People who've read it already are just like, they're raving about it. So I'm really, really excited about it. And I really thank you for allowing me this opportunity to even just share my testimony.
Oh no, it is very touching. Also, so how do we get that book? How do they order that book right now?
Okay, yes, thank you. It's at books, the number 2, live by, books2liveby.com.
Books. All right, we're gonna put that up on the screen. I have to say this, Teresa. Now I've been knowing you for probably 25 years, and you was beautiful back then, and you still beautiful now.
You know what? You are too much. Books2liveby.com. Yes, but thank you so much. But I love what I do. I love the people. If you don't really have a love for people, you will not last in this business. You will not last in this community, because we go through storms and we need each other. We need each other to support each other. We need to speak into each other's lives. I love what you just did before I even came on, to play that song and to do shout outs to people, because people are going through. I got a cousin even in Texas who called me last week, and she was like, I don't even have water. We didn't have electricity for a couple of days. I was like, girl, come on to Atlanta. But, it's really, it's really that we just got to cover each other. And sometimes when you can't even get to people, you just got to pray for them. So I really appreciate the fact that we are a community.
Okay,
right.
Well, look, I'm glad to be in the community with you and all the people out here.
Anybody, Jeff, you have something? You have a question?
Spotlight with Kerry Douglas and Jeff. Well, Jeff, you got.
Yes, one more thing before you leave, Dr. Harrison. I told everybody to tag 5 people who want to be millionaires, or you want to start something, you just want to be sustained. You are an entrepreneur. In 30 seconds, or let's do 45 seconds or less, can you give some inspiration to the entrepreneur or the person who is starting something? They have frustrated and need some advice on consistency and persistency. Could you just speak to them real quick?
Oh, thank you so much for that opportunity. It's something that when God calls you to a great work, you will always go through great transitions, great struggles, great trials. But here's the thing I want you to remember. When God calls you to do something, he always can pay for what he orders. God can always pay for what he orders. And if you have a God-inspired vision, not a good idea, but a God-inspired vision, you are unstoppable. Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. And remember that, because right now, in the midst of this COVID, this shutdown, everything that we're coming out of, if you got the faith, you are already ahead of the game, and you're going to make it.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you for stopping by. Anytime, get with our you want to stop by, just get with Gregory Gay and come on in. Thank you. Miss you. Y'all have a blessed day. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, Jeff.
Bye, Ms. Ashton. We're going to keep the night going. Let's get into our second interview of the night right here on In the Spotlight. Let's do it.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Blanche.
Hey.
How you doing today? You look so beautiful.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
I hear you. Can you hear us?
Happened.
Oh, you. Let's see.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
I hear you fine now.
I said you're so beautiful today. We're glad to have you here on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Douglas.
We just love it when we get beautiful ladies on the show.
Come on now.
Thank you so much, King. I appreciate it. I'm so happy to be with you tonight. Thank you so much for having me.
Glad to have you on. We are doing so much better now that you are on tonight.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So how are you doing? How is everything going with you?
Everything is going good. God has been so faithful. And it's so funny. We're in a season now where if we never learned anything, we know that time is short, and that's how we spend the time we have. And so I'm grateful. God is he's been good. He's been showing himself. It's been a slowdown, but not a stop. So we know that all is well. I'm glad to be in the land of the living. How about that?
Absolutely.
Great. Man, I sure like that artwork in the back and that hat.
Come
Thank
on,
you very much.
She came on here stunning now. Good Lord.
So thank you so much. It's mighty easy. Today was a long day, so we want to do something easy and a little bright. And, you never know what I'm going to do. 1 minute it's a wig, then it's cut out, then it's locks, then it's a hat. Then you just never know. You got to keep guessing, right, Mr. Kerry?
I like that art you have in the back. I like that art that you have in the back, too, that artwork.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's actually it's a piece of the mud cloth actually on the wall.
I love
the design. So thank you so much.
Yeah. So look, what's going on with you? What you got moving right now?
So I'm still singing with Donald Lawrence and Company, which is a blessing. And on top of that, God has allowed me to branch out and do a solo record. So Donald wrote a song called Words, which I recorded, and Myron Butler produced it for me. So we actually have a record that's coming out the latter part of the year. And so we released our first single entitled Words. And again, it was written by none other than the great Donald Lawrence, and Myron Butler produced it for me. And it simply just reminds us that the power of life and death is in your tongue. So be careful of what you speak, because you're going to see what you speak. So yeah, I hope you dig it.
Absolutely. Now we heard it in the production, and everything is just so on point. And you said Donald Lawrence and Myron Butler. How was it working with those two?
I've been with Donald now almost 20 years. And it in itself is always an adventure. We're always learning. We're always growing. So it's amazing. And then I've worked with Donald like with other people, but to work with him one-on-one, it was amazing. Myron is a perfectionist, and his mind moves so fast. He's a genius, and he maps it out, and he's effortlessly just amazing, period. Hands down, amazing.
Awesome.
Man, I remember we were on the road doing, what is that, How Sweet the Sound? With, yeah, Sweet the Sound, man. I mean, you guys just every night, it was awesome with that. So we're really excited to see that you have a solo project coming out. That's that's amazing. I'm sure a lot of people been waiting on for you to come out and just hear you just sing yourself. You know what I mean?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I'm hoping that it blesses people. I always told the Lord, people say, well, when? And I told God, if you give me something to say, I'll say it. So then I'll say what you've been telling me to say. And so I'm grateful that he's given me something to share in this season. And again, I just hope it blesses people.
Do you ever feel
great? My boy James Fortune just jumped on and said hello to you, along with James Johnson and James. They said, how you doing?
Hey, good people. I love all those blazers that you just mentioned. I'm doing well. I'm blessed and grateful.
Awesome. Do you ever feel pressure now that it's your solo project?
To a degree, yeah, because you want people to love what you have to offer. But I give that back to God quick, because I remind him, now you gave me this, so you're responsible for it. I have to be a good steward over it, but that pressure, I give it right back. It belongs to you. You're responsible. I do my part, and he always makes up the difference. So, but yeah, to some degree, absolutely.
Awesome. So listen, let's go back into the single Words now. It's self-explanatory, but when people hear this, what do you want them to grasp from this?
To mind your words. I often say that words are currency, and we should spend them wisely. So don't say what you feel, say what you know. Don't say, whatever you say is what you'll see. So if you're always saying I'm tired and I'm sick and tired, and I'm broke, I ain't got it. We say those things, it perpetuates and we attract it. So what I want people to leave with, mind your words, spend them wisely, and always make sure that you're making a deposit and not a withdrawal when you speak into the atmosphere and speak to people.
Absolutely. Listen, let's go ahead and go into the single right here. Oh,
yeah, I want to get into it. I'm excited about hearing it, since you guys already heard it at the production meeting.
I hope you like it, Sir Kerry.
We didn't leave you out, Kerry.
Let's go, baby.
All right, listen, let's get into it.
Leaving me out.
Words right here by Blanche McAllister Dykes right here on the spotlight. Let's do it. Words, our words, realize the power of our words. Words, our words, the harm we can do with our words. So let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in the Father's sight. May the words Guys, that was Words by Blanche McAllister Dykes right here on the spotlight. Goodness.
Let me tell you this, man. That's gonna be one of them there. You know what I mean? Power. Power's in the strength. Your tongue. It's just, man. It's just awesome here. Man, those vocals, girl, that's fire. I get it now. I get it. Can we play just a little bit more of that? Yeah. Can I give it a little bit more? Just a little bit more. I just want a little bit more of that. Just a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more. Yeah. Y'all just kind of tease me. Just a little bit. This is our show. We can do what we want to do. Let's go.
Now listen, that's the only sneak peek that we got, Kerry. The only sneak peek that we got. We got you later on, if you allow it.
All right.
Let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in the Father's sight. Oh, may the words I speak touch somebody's life.
See what I'm talking about? You just ask for it and it shall be given. Y'all can't steal my glory. I got live and living color right here.
Y'all, Blanche McAllister Dykes.
Love you. Thank you so much.
Where can they get this single? Where can they find you on all social media?
All digital outlets. I'm at BMAC Sings on Facebook, Instagram, all of it. And YouTube channel.
Hey, look, fam, everybody that's online, I want you guys to, definitely go and download this single. It's called Word, and it's kind of got me stirred up right now. So if you guys you like, just go on all the digital platforms, and if not, just stream it. Stream it. Go to Spotify and all that good stuff. Let's support this young lady right here, man. She's awesome, and she's been laboring in the field for a long time. So look, we're gonna wrap our arms around her, and we're gonna love all up on you, girl. All
Absolutely.
Right?
Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you again.
You having fun? Oh my God. Listen, let's get into our third interview right here on In the Spotlight.
Lulu, what's up, buddy? Oh, come on.
He's muted. He muted.
Unmute.
Well,
hold on, go back. Unmute yourself one more time.
all right, you good? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with this sound today, but we got two gas and two bad sounds. I know you got all that equipment back there, Luther. You don't know how to work it.
No, oh yeah. Now you know I know how to work it.
How to work it, Luther.
Luther, how you doing tonight, man? How you doing tonight?
Listen, man, I am absolutely blessed. I have no complaints. God is good. Been taking care of me, been taking care of my family. I am absolutely awesome. I have no complaints.
Now, what I saw is you are from Lyons, Georgia. Is that right?
Yeah, Lyons, Georgia, Tools County, man, right here by there where they make the onion.
Okay, representing. Lyons, Georgia is in the building.
That's it.
Luther's in a lot of stuff, man. So what is this solo I'm in? Going solo?
Oh man, you know the One Love Brothers, God has blessed us to travel a lot of ground, and we still have a lot of ground to cover, and we're gonna be doing just that. But God has given me a message and a testimony. I just got to tell it a different way. So I'm gonna be doing some solo stuff. But you know, PWB never stop. One Love Brothers, we still got some new stuff coming to the people. I'm just doing a testimonial, a thing, little solo thing for a minute. But the One Love Brothers is still there. But I got a special thing I got to say a different way.
Okay, well, I like
Awesome.
that, man. I like that. So that means, well, this new, you got the single ready now, or?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is out. It is available on all platforms. God has blessed it at radio. It's doing quite well, and I'm so thankful to be a part of the show tonight with the
Yeah,
man, Kerry Douglas, and then you back it up with Jeff. I'm like, whoa, what the what y'all got going on in the spotlight? Y'all look at it.
it just got, hey, it just got in the mail, baby. It just got in the mail.
All that shine right there. Good Lord, Kerry.
I know, right?
Listen, so you do have the new single on the way, and you are responsible for a lot of singles by you being a songwriter and producer. When it came to your own project, did you feel like, did you find yourself like, oh my God, I have to cram something because I've done something real good for everybody else? It's like, did you find yourself having a hard time doing it for you?
Well, you know what? It was different, Jeff. What happened was I actually wrote the song, and normally I just write it and it's sitting there, and if somebody needs it, there it is. But as the Holy Spirit was pouring into me, I wrote the song, and the Holy Spirit spoke as I was trying to place it with the brothers or place it somewhere else. The Holy Spirit kept speaking. He said, "No, you do this one." So it was actually the other way around. The song was already written, and it fit my life, and it was just a testimony for me. So I had to sing it myself. That's just kind of the way the Holy Spirit set it up. So I got to roll with it.
Absolutely. So, where did On the Way come from? What is the story behind this?
Well, on the way, you know how sometimes you can be, and with the business guru right here, Douglas, he'd be the one to tell you more than anything, as you are moving forward and you're trying to move forward, sometimes you run into those stumbling blocks. Sometimes people close the door right in your face. Sometimes you're told no. Sometimes you feel like letting go and giving up, but you can't do that. The Bible tells us that we shouldn't get weary in well doing, because in due season you will reap a harvest if you faint not. So you can't give up. You can't let go. You can't throw in the towel, even though you get tired and you really want to. But God is able, and it's on the way, and you got to truly believe that. And I've had some doors closed in my face. I've had people to walk out. I've had people to walk away when you're trying to hold on to different things. So God saw me through it all, and I can truly testify and say it's on the way.
Wow, Luther, I can feel you. I feel your spirit. I understand everything that you're saying. You know, because when you're you have something inside of you, you will have to get it out. Sometimes everybody that's around you is not with you. And I know one thing about you. I know you're an entrepreneur. I mean, you have a drive and you have a passion for what you're doing, man. So I see some wonderful things happening in your life. Just keep it up, keep it moving, and we're gonna be supportive of you 100% on this. You still dipping and dabbing in the movies? I know we talked about that a couple of years ago, didn't we?
Well, yeah. So The Perfect Mate is out right now on Urban Flix. You can go and see The Perfect Mate. I got a little co-star role, and I was able to, and I actually wrote the soundtrack to that, and did some score, and I actually scored it. And we're filming another movie at the end of this month called Blue Lightning, and that's going to be awesome. And I'm actually a producer in that movie, so I'm getting into the television thing kind of deep, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, man. I think where were we at? We was in New Orleans, wasn't we?
Yeah. Baton Rouge. We're out in Baton
Baton
Rouge.
Rouge. Yeah, I stopped
Yeah.
there. Man, I'm excited to see that movie. I saw it from the beginning, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. Maybe we'll be able to bring you back and when you get a better sound system over there.
Yeah.
Y'all, we're on with Luther Wardlaw. Listen, I think it's time for this single. Do we have the video? Oh, we have it. Oh, we ready. Go ahead and introduce the Luther.
Listen, if you have had anything to happen to you, if you've had doors closed in your face, if you felt like giving up, I just want to tell you to be encouraged. God is not marked. Whatever he said he would do, he will do. It's on the way.
All right. It's here.
I declare today that your light will be great. And the eyes haven't seen nor ears heard. God has prepared. All you gotta do is hold on. It's on.
Oh, wow.
Come on now.
Yeah, that's a little sexy there, Luther.
Come on now.
It sounds a little good, man. That's a blessed song. You're looking sharp.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Yeah, I like that
Yeah.
style.
Yes, sir.
Luther,
Yes,
where
sir.
can we find you on all social media, man?
Listen, all social media, you really can just go to my website, lutherwardlaw.com or at Luther Wardlaw, but On the Way is on all digital platforms and you can get it today. And I would encourage you, download it tonight.
Absolutely.
I want to encourage you guys. If you don't download it, at least put it on your playlist, on your Spotify, your Pandora. We need to support this brother. This brother's been working for the Lord for a mighty long time, and he's doing some wonderful things. And it's in his season, and it's time for us, the people of the body of Christ, to support my brother, my friend, Luther Wardlaw, my friend.
Yes, sir. Definitely, friends, man. And I look forward to being with you soon, man.
Oh, yeah. Let's chop it up. You got me. Let's talk next week.
Yes, sir. Let's do that.
All right. Thank you for stepping by. All right.
Of course, anytime.
All right.
Coming out for Christmas, Kerry Douglas is coming out with a Christmas compilation project alongside his gospel mix project that you need to check out. Listen, don't believe me? Just watch.
Kerry Douglas presents. Let's go. It's the Gospel Mix Volume 11 compilation CD. 18 tracks of the biggest radio hits of 2020, like the award-winning Pastor Mike Jr., Demetrius West, plus #1 songs from Ernest Pugh and Zacardi Cortez. Also, hear the classics like Greg O'Quinn and Joyful Noise, Ted and Sherry, and new music that moves your soul.
Created to win.
Algernon Wright, Created to Win. Plus, Angela Wilson, featuring Molly Music, Winner, and you heard it here first. What will be one of the biggest praise and worship songs of 2021? Lachey Knox, God of Miracles. Kerry Douglas presents Gospel Mix 11. Available in stores and on all digital outlets now. Text GOSPEL to 33970 for music, giveaways, and exclusive content.
I am the daughter of one of the men in the study, Freddie Lee Tyson. I'm also the daughter of Johnny Mae Neal Tyson. I have to include my wonderful mother because the two of them was on the journey together. My father had congenital syphilis. from his mother. When penicillin became available, the men were denied treatment. There has been a lot of references to the study as to why some people may or may not want to take the vaccine. A lot of misinformation is out there. We have the ability to find out the facts and the opportunity to talk with people who could help us go through the facts, and don't deny ourselves the opportunity the men were denied.
Let's get into our last interview right here on In the Spotlight. Let's do it.
Hey, Gregory. Hey, Jeff. How y'all doing?
Hey,
Doing
how are
great.
you?
How
It's
are
so
you?
good
Thank
to
you.
it's
Thank
so
you for
good to
honoring
see
the
you.
queens.
The queens, the queens. And Tracy, you just do so much. It's hard to imagine that you have 20. Did you say that you have 20 years in the industry?
I have probably 22 or 23 years.
I
I know
don't
I
believe
look
it.
23, but
Yes, every bit of 23. But you, in an amazing career, you have done so much. Now, of course, you're the station program director here in Chicago. And then, of course, the wonderful time that you served at Ty Scott Records, working with the greats, of course, Dietrich Haddon and Bishop Rance Allen, and the list goes on and on and on and on. And of course, you have written a wonderful book that tells us how to make sure that when we get our 5 minutes, we are able to hold it. And I say that that is so important because a lot of people don't know what to do when they get their 5 minutes or even how to get their 5 minutes. So tell us how the book came to be.
Well, the book came to be. Thank you for the introduction. I've worked with Ty Scott Records. I was the label A&R first in marketing, and then the label director for years. And I branched out on my own, launched out, and started my own company, Trace 7, where I've worked with so many artists. The list goes on. For me, we will be here to, I don't know. I wish I could say next year, but it's a pretty heavy list. But it gave me the opportunity to also grow and see what you just said. Not just that people want their 5 minutes. Well, most people do want their 5 minutes, but sometimes they don't want to, they really don't want to know how to maintain any stage that they get on. We want the fame, we want the lights, we actually want more than 5 minutes. But most times, we don't like to admit it, we don't want to learn how to lay the foundation and how to sustain that foundation, whether it's on a huge platform, whether it's local, regional, national. We just want to go right to the stage.
Yeah.
We don't want to own those moments that lead us to getting to the stage. And so just my interactions with many of the artists you just named, working at Ty Scott, the clients I've had over the years, and now being a program director, I've come in contact with many people and artists, and not just artists, but industry people, companies who, we're on a platform, but once we get to a certain level, we don't like to hold ourselves accountable for the moments that we actually endure. So we'll skip over moments and be like, oh, that's nothing. Versus, let me take this in and understand why this is happening. And maybe I need to backtrack and do some foundational work first so that I can sustain and be sustained in a moment. Hopefully that kind of makes sense of why I created this book.
Absolutely, it does. Of course, Mr. Douglas chimed in and said, make sure that you tell the whole story. He would love it to be here during this time because, of course, this is so important. And, in reading through the book, the overarching emphasis is that it is a marathon and not a sprint. So many people think that it's a short run, but it's longevity. And if you're looking for longevity, you have to put in the work. But I don't want to talk about your book. Go ahead, Zoe.
And I'm sure I know what Kerry is mentioning. I will say this, even because the book is called Own Your Moment and Take the Stage. And here it is, just in case you don't see it. But it's laying the foundation for a successful music career. But a nice portion of the book in the beginning, I tell my own story because I'm a pretty authentic person. I try to be, and not for a marketing ploy, but how can people listen if they can't relate? sometimes they'll think that you're on a high platform and they're like, oh, looking at you. But then we know when the stuff hits the fan, they saying, I can't believe they did that. And why did they do that? And it's a lot of times it's based on our perception of people. But when we all know we're on the same platform. We're on the same playing field now because of COVID. Like it's across the board. Everybody's virtual. Everybody's trying to figure it out. But I think being authentic with things, it helps people to relate. But like I said, my story is shared in the book of when I was 7, 8, 9 years old. And for some reason, I wanted to be a music producer. And I found out later, my dad, that was a dream of my father. My mother's in the music industry too, but I wanted to be a producer. And I started my own production company at 12 years old and didn't know what, how, or anything. And I was pretty bold at a young age and driven. And I would call superstars at that time, like Maurice Starr, who founded New Edition and so many other artists. I called him in his hotel in Chicago and told him I'm gonna be a producer and I'm gonna be famous. And he probably was like, "Is this girl crazy?" But I was serious about it. But I tell my story of me owning moments from 12 years old to now 43, but how I had to develop. Everything didn't just come to me. Ty Scott didn't just happen. I worked for temp agencies out of college. I didn't make money. I fell asleep on the job. I worked at Marshall Fields. I worked at a day camp. I mean, I had all type of jobs. Was told no countless times. My first break came through Debbie May, who at the time was Kirk Franklin's. If you all know who that is, she worked with Al Wash Entertainment. Shout out to Debbie May. She gave me my first industry, well, one of my first industry jobs where I passed out flyers. We don't do that anymore. All across the city of Chicago in my mother's car. I was 21, I think, straight out of college. I didn't get a job out of college. I didn't get the $40,000 job. I was passing out flyers all over the city promoting tours. And she paid me, didn't know me, but that was the entryway into the industry. But again, owning my moment. So that's a little bit of that is in the book as well.
How does it feel being a woman in a male-dominated industry?
It's interesting. That's the word I'll use. I have to be honest. I haven't personally felt any challenges with that, but I have felt some pressure at times to not be myself as a woman because I'm a woman first and I'm a feminine woman, and I'm saying that on purpose. This isn't against anyone who's not feminine, but I know at times women, when we are in the presence of men, some women may feel as if they have to be the B or whatever, or they got to be like, I'm doing this and I'm telling y'all, and that may not be your nature, and that's not my nature. And at times I kind of felt like I'm not that person, and I don't feel the need to try to stunt or, prove a point in the room of men when I'm not a man. So to kind of answer your question, there is pressure out there, I think, for different women. Everybody's personality is different, but I've tried to maintain me because that's what's going to stand out, and that's what people will remember is the authentic Tracy. Because if I act like somebody else and y'all see another person tomorrow, I'll be like, now who was that yesterday? So to kind of answer your question, it has been interesting, but I've tried to maintain me first, being a woman and a lady, because like I said, I'm not a male, so I can only be me.
Greg, I'm trying to go off the book, but this book is, I can tell it got so many gems.
Yes, it is rich.
Yeah, so when you were saying everything in the beginning, it just got me to thinking, so with the independent artists of today, what are you are saying you cannot skip steps. That is what I'm hearing.
No, sir, you can't. And I think, and most people don't, all of us, like I'll use as an example, when it comes to like relationships, most of us will go to take a class, read a book, to go to school for things. But when it comes to relationships, not just intimate, we won't learn or read a book, take a class for nothing. We'll just jump head first and be like, I got this. I know how to do relationships. And honestly, it's the same when it comes to the entertainment industry. And I believe it's because of the fame and the things that we see connected to it, the money, the glitter, the fame, the claps. And I want that. I want that. Or relationally, I want that relationship. I want hashtag relationship goals. So many things that seem great in the eyes of consumers, but we don't want to, like you said, we don't want to learn. And indie artists, I talk to many indie artists all the time, and my statements don't change. Do the work, do the work, because if you don't do it now, you will do it later.
Fantabulous, fantabulous. Tracy, I have to get back to Bishop Ransell. And of course, we had Bishop Scott on who talked about Bishop Ransell. And please share with our audience some of your fond memories of working with Bishop Allen. I think you all co-wrote music together, right?
Yes, I've actually written a song. The Rance Allen Group. I produced a project for Rance while working at Ty Scott. They were the second national group to record a song that I wrote.
Wow.
So I was really grateful for that, and I also produced the Miracle Worker live experience with the Rance Allen Group.
Yes,
So Rance,
that's a big album with them doing something about the name
huge.
Jesus. Yes.
Yes. So Rance, that really hit me. Losing him, was very close to him and his brothers. I took Rance gave me a huge compliment, and I will never forget it. He said that I forget the lady's name, but he said that I reminded him of his A&R that worked with them when they were at Stax Records.
Wow.
So that was like a huge compliment to me for Rance Allen to say that at the time.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us about all your entrepreneur ventures that you have right now?
Yeah,
She
I'll
has
say
so
them
many.
quickly.
Please do. Please do.
I'll quickly say, and there aren't that many. Trey 7 Entertainment was what I founded almost 16 years ago, and where I work with provided services, publicity, management, marketing services for artists and clients, independent artists and national artists. And also regarding like Ty Scott, when I left Ty Scott, it wasn't like I don't need y'all or nothing like that. It was just my time to go. But they also became a client of mine during that time. So with the music industry, Trey 7 Entertainment, and I'm also a cook. So I have a food business, and it's called Pepper's Cuisine and Flavor. So I do also cook.
And quite well, I might add. Yes,
Thank
I agree.
Send some our way. Send some our way. Listen, we want to do a quick game, just a quick game called This and That. Tracy, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, listen. Mother's Day, are we going out or are we staying in?
We're going out. We are.
45 2-hour long wait. Are we still going out?
You said it again, 45.
45 minutes.
Yeah, we are. We are. We are.
Coke or Pepsi?
Neither.
Ooh. She said ginger ale.
Actually, ginger ale. How did you know? You must be reading my mind.
Listen, Canada Dry swells, but it got to be Canada Dry. You know we don't play about that.
Ginger ale.
Yeah. Batman, Superman.
Batman.
Oh my.
The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
Hey, you know.
Greg, I have no further questions. Go ahead.
You know.
Absolutely. We just, of course, want to make sure that we tell people how they can get in contact with you and also where they can get this wonderful book. And of course, Tracy, when Kerry is back with us, you have to come back and talk to him again. He would love it. He would love it.
Sure thing. I'm sure Kerry and I would have a lot to talk about.
Absolutely.
Because we go way back.
Way back. Oh, yes.
So I am on actually I'm on another social media platform. I'll share that. So you can go to my website at tracy7.com. That's just the number 7, TRACY 7.com. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and I'm also on TikTok. So you can Yep. Now I'm not dancing because I don't have any rhythm, but I do have a food, I don't know what to call it, food TikTok video. I don't know, but I'm not old, but I'm trying to get, I'm trying to own my moment with what's
On your
happening.
moment. That's good.
So, but you can follow me on TikTok to hear. It's actually from the grocery store to your house with Tracy, and we talking about food, just so you know.
I'm gonna be
So,
on there.
so I go from the grocery store, and we figuring out things to cook. I'm showing things to buy at the grocery store, and we're taking it back to your house. But I'm not at your house with you, so I'm at my house.
What's your favorite thing to cook? We can talk all day.
All
Yes,
day.
we could. Well, one of my favorite things to cook, I love to cook. It's a shrimp. It's a dish I have called sun-dried tomato pesto with shrimp and penne pasta. So it's shrimp with penne pasta and a sun-dried tomato pesto sauce that I make. I actually roast the tomatoes and I add a pesto sauce, and I make the sauce myself. And yeah, I'm not gonna give anything else.
Y'all better follow her now.
But you can follow me on Instagram for if you would like to book me, cater anything else, you can. Pepper's Cuisine is also on Instagram, but like I said, I'm now on TikTok. I'm not on Snapchat, but I'm on TikTok.
Everybody, one more time, make some noise in the comment. Go ahead, get the emojis, get the book. Listen,
get the book. You
everything.
can purchase the book on my website at tracy7.com. And if you purchase it and it's also on Amazon. But if you purchase it from my site, I will personally sign it, and shipping comes included with the price. Just so you know. So you need to go to my site so I can get them coins directly.
Hello. Y'all, one more time, make some noise for Tracy Williamson in the comments.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Gregory.
much.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate you all.
Definitely. Y'all, it's so much good stuff going on this spotlight. Listen, you want to stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
I am the winner. When I look at myself, I see I was created to be. Nothing's gonna ever stop me. In life, I will.
Did you not enjoy the spotlight tonight? It went up in a major way. Shout out to all the artists. Shout out to the industry execs. Shout out to everybody who came and graced the spotlight. It was so dope. Listen, make sure you go ahead and like, share, comment, subscribe, do whatever you got to do, but make sure you are in the mix right here on In the Spotlight. Make sure you text gospel to 39997. That is 39970, so you can be on the A-list, and make sure you're back here. Listen, it's your guy Jeff Will. I'll see you next week right here on In the Spotlight.